This is Part 2 Episode 182. Yang continent was the main huge continent surrounded by many other large fragments. Even though some of them are called fragments, some of them still require close to 2 months to completely fly past. One could only imagine how huge they were. The black disk flew above a fragment. It sure is huge. Luo Feng stood in the control room and gazed at the vast endless continent below. It's just a fragment, and yet I can't see the end of it. Luo Feng, according to the marker on the map, the main continent is named number 1, we are currently flying over number 9, and its largest diameter is about 900 billion kilometers. The path we are taking right now is near 700 billion kilometers mark. Even if we maintain a speed of 290,000 kilometers per second, it'd still take us a month to pass this area. Barbata's voice resounded within the control room. Luo Feng nodded. Actually, while in Shattered Stars, Luo Feng's team had always flown about at light speed within a few days' distance. However, this continent number 9 required a month to completely fly through. It was suitable to be a battlefield for warriors. An undying-led army. Hee, this is the Dark Scarlet race. This is the first time I've seen one. It's as cute as those in my inherited memories. Just from its appearance, it's hard to imagine that they are truly terrifying. An official level undying. While flying above Continent 9, through his scanning device, Luo Feng could clearly see the many teams around his 1 billion kilometers area. As he guessed, this Continent 9, even though it was just a fragment, it was huge and had many warriors hidden within. The many teams of other race warriors, their levels were clearly much stronger than Shattered Stars. At least the Undyings were frequently seen. Luo Feng was dazzled by it. After a while, he didn't bother to check up on every team, only ordering, Barbata, you'll be in charge of the scanning device, let me know if anything happens. He returned to his resting quarters. That room was made of F9 alloys. Of course it was won from His Majesty Meng Wei Na after countless years of battle. After flying for half a month over Continent 9. In the resting quarters, Luo Feng sat crossed-legged. Luo Feng, Luo Feng. Barbata shouted out urgently from within. What's up? Luo Feng asked. Hurry and come to the control room. Barbata said. You are purposely hiding something. Luo Feng smiled and walked out towards the control room. The external simulator was on within the control room. Luo Feng looked down and was shocked. Barbata, why have you stopped the ship? We planned to enter the main continent, but why are you stopping in the air above Continent 9? Hee. Barbata laughed weirdly. A screen appeared before Luo Feng, and on it was a human image. He was dressed in a dark green armor with pointy ears, and his eyes were gleaming with red light like a venomous snake. The image gave others a chill. Nuo Lan Shan. Luo Feng was shocked. Barbata, why are you showing me his picture? Don't tell me. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Hee, congratulations, you've guessed right. Barbata said proudly. You've really found him. Luo Feng was shocked. Even now he still didn't dare to believe it. How huge was the outer region wars? Even though he flew through the large areas and scanned everything, it was still just a small portion of the entire battlefield. And he actually found Nuo Lan Shan. This was fate. The ship was flying in the air above Continent 9 with the scanning device turned on. Even though there were few human teams, there was nothing special. Just now, however, it suddenly discovered Nuo Lan Shan, and I immediately recognized the signal, hence I stopped the ship. Back then, in order to get the treasures of Earth, he used many underhanded tactics. You and your family almost died at his hands. Barbata said. And now to be able to meet him here, according to what the Earthlings say, it's divine intervention. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed coldly. Nuo Lan Shan, back then he had sent a star-level team to Earth to use force to threaten Earth, during which many humans had died, and he forced the elites of Earth out of their bases, and destroying the many bases as threats. Luckily Luo Feng became the leader of Earth at the right time, and used the Black Dragon Mountain laws to force him away. The Nuo Lan Shan family was dissatisfied, and secretly sent a special elite team to swiftly capture all of Earth's leaders along with Luo Feng's wife Shu Xin, and his brother Luo Hua as hostages. His many tactics failed. He even sent 2 universe-level warriors over, of which one died and another became Luo Feng's sole slave. Finally, because of the incident in the world within a world, Luo Feng had gotten a powerful warrior to kill Nuo Lan Shan. He however had fled in fear and come straight to the outer region wars. Many things happened back to back, if even one of them had gotten messed up. If Luo Feng had become the Earth's leader later, Earth would have been reduced to nothing with countless killed or injured. If Luo Feng hadn't successfully saved his family, they would have probably died tragically. Nuo Lan Shan. Luo Feng was filled with killing intent. We haven't met in over 4,000 years. I wonder how strong you've gotten. Barbata. Luo Feng ordered, scan where Nuo Lan Shan is and project it. Yes. A screen appeared immediately in mid-air and it displayed a shocking battle scene. On one side was humans with 2 undyings, around 200 sector lords, close to 2,000 domain lords and close to 20,000 universe levels. The other side was the demon race led by 1 demon undying. It was a completely scaled undying with 4 thick hooves. It had a layer of thin armor over its body and 2 malevolent heads, one of which had gold eyes and another had silver. This powerful demon undying was fighting against and suppressing the 2 human undyings. Simultaneously, the sector lords, domain lords and universe levels of the demon race ranging in the thousands had all sorts of appearances. The smallest was at 10 meter long, while the largest reached 32 kilometers. With thousands of them, their power completely suppressed the human side. Among the close to 200 sector lords on the human side, there was 1 human silhouette, Nuo Lan Shan. Sector Lord Level 3. Luo Feng gazed down from the control room, however he could only see mist and not the battle scene itself, after which he looked up through the projection and mocked. They had sent a distress signal straight to him. Distress signals were sent to all surrounding allies, within an area of 10 billion kilometers. Luo Feng realized his distance from the battle wasn't even 100 million kilometer. However, as his scanning device was advanced, it had blocked off any other party from scanning him, hence they couldn't detect him. However, the human side had the army system, which informed them of when any allies were close by. Luo Feng, an undying from the battle below, is requesting a call. Barbata said. Accept it. Luo Feng nodded. Send it to my ARM quantum computer. The screen displayed a white-robed man who had an urgent expression. Ally, please help us. My scanners cannot detect you, but the army system has detected your marker. You should be stronger than us, and with us 2 undyings, we should be able to deal with the demon undying. Please come and help us, we can barely hold on. The weaker universe, domain lord and sector lords are all crumbling and fleeing in all directions. The sector lords may be able to flee, but the universe and domain lord levels have very low chances. We are all humans, please help. Luo Feng nodded. Pa, he closed to call. That Nuo Lan Shan sure is crafty. Luo Feng looked at the situation of the battle. At Sector Lord Level 3, he naturally won't deal with the Sector Lord Pinnacle Warriors himself. Naturally the other Sector Lords will help him. Looks like his relations with the others are not bad. If this goes on, he may escape. And many universe and domain lord levels may die. Luo Feng shook his head. A black armor swiftly extended through his body. A black helmet covered his head and boots covered his feet. Simultaneously, a peculiar 1/2 meter wide stone board appeared beneath his feet, and an exquisite gold beast god shield about 2 meter tall appeared in his hand. The golden horned beast doesn't require the beast god armament. I'll let the human body use it. Luo Feng thought. Luo Fu Chi board and beast god armament. This was the setup he was going to use to battle here. Rumble. The cabin door opened and he swiftly flew out. He rushed down. High in the air above the mountain range, the humans and demons clashed. One could see huge ancient statues within the mountain ranges. These were left behind by the original natives of the Yangji continent back then. However, over the trillions of years, the natives were no longer there. Even though the statues had some peculiar energies, most were completely destroyed. Second brother, we cannot hold on much longer. Nuo Lan Shan said urgently. We are about to fall, get ready to flee. Fifth brother, you hurry and leave. Fifth brother, you are only Sector Lord level 3, if you meet any Sector Lord pinnacle you will definitely die. Many of the universe and domain lord levels have dispersed, hurry and flee, we have to give you all enough time. Second brother, you all. Nuo Lan Shan was anxious. Go on. We won't die. Amidst the massacre, Nuo Lan Shan gave off a pained expression, but thought within, this is already the 63rd time fleeing in the outer region wars, one truly meets life, or death comrades here. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to survive till now. It's a pity, over 1,000 years of relationship may just end like that. As Nuo Lan Shan was preparing to flee, a powerful energy descended from above. Howl. A howl resounded throughout the land and skies. A huge beautiful bird-like silhouette rushed down and shocked both sides. The beautiful terrifying huge bird silhouette rushed down. It was a black armored silhouette with a gold shield. Luo Fu Chi board. Luo Fu Chi board. There's hope. The two human undyings were gleeful. The malevolent two-headed demon undying however howled. The Luo Fu Chi board was a renowned flying weapon, it was naturally formed and made special. From a glance it was almost like a bird, especially with its naturally formed mysterious engraving of a bird. The moment it had fully melded with its owner, triggering it fully would produce the silhouette of a bird, causing one's speed to rise greatly. The price of the board was only about 1 to 2 million mixed elements. But as it was naturally formed, it was extremely rare and hard to buy. Even very few official level undyings had one. Having a Luo Fu Chi board alone was a display of status. Shu Fan, we can win. The copper-armored undying was burning with flames as he communicated excitedly. Ha ha, we may flip the tables. The seemingly weak man was surrounded with water droplets as he smiled. Howl, the demon undying was extremely cautious too. Even though it was attacking the two human undyings, it was ready to flee the moment anything bad happened. However, in that instant. What a joke. Both undyings stared wide-eyed. Sector Lord. How could it be a Sector Lord? Howl, the demon undying was incredibly excited. Their energy detection was incredibly precise, instantly sensing that the black armored man rushing down was a Sector Lord. Even though his energy was off the charts, even though he stood on a Luo Fu Chi board, it couldn't change the fact that this black armored man was still only a Sector Lord. How can it be a Sector Lord? The two undyings were about to crumble. They thought their savior had come, yet it was just a Sector Lord. Luo Feng stood on the board and rushed down. After looking at the malevolent two-headed demon undying, naturally he was very clear about what type of demon this was. Time-space nightmare, one of the 18 royal bloodlines of the demon race. At maturity, it would naturally reach domain lord level. One head had a silver eye and the other had a gold. The gold eye could affect space while the silver could affect time. The moment both eyes used its strength simultaneously, it would have a strong control of both space and time. Combined with a lore domain, it could amplify its strength by many times. And this beast below should be considered the shame of the time-space nightmare undyings. As a royal bloodline proficient in time and space, this particular beast had very low achievements in both time and space. Any stronger beast would easily reach official level, simply relying on its natural talents, and yet this one only reached pinnacle general level. It was indeed a shame to the bloodline. Otherwise, a royal bloodline family was actually used to lead an army on the battlefield, and not given her undying underlings. Time-space nightmare, even though it's far from the Huisuo beast's time stop, and far from the golden horned beast's natural ability to strengthen, its population is still much more than both the space beasts. Luo Feng thought within. The 12 pinnacle bloodlines of the space beasts are much more valuable than the 18 bloodlines of the royal demon bloodlines. However, similarly, the chances of them becoming undyings are much easier than the space beasts. Time-space talent had different levels. Space binding was a talent too, but its effect was pitiful. Time flow change was a talent too, normally it could speed or slow down time, its amplitude was very minimal. Teleportation was a talent too, its effects were heavenly, there were some life forms that were able to teleport from birth. Time stop was just as heavenly. The weaker races all have their heroes too, the strong ones would have their weaker warriors. Time-space nightmare, die. Luo Feng rushed down and instantly triggered the gold shield in his hand. Large amounts of rhombus-shaped metal plates flaked off, each with complex engravings, as they instantly interweaved with countless gold threads. A total of 999 flakes shot out. As countless threads weaved through, connecting to the universe laws, it almost instantly formed a huge large beast god projection in mid-air. The 999 flakes vanished from sight, and the beast god projection became clear, every scale on it visible. 4 thick legs with claws, a long scale tail, 1 horn that pierced that skies. The powerful energy that dominated the universe, even though it seemed weak at this moment, it still made others shudder. What's this? This? The 2 human undyings were shocked, even the demon undying stared wide-eyed at the image. As for the humans and demon sector lords, they all simply went limp in mid-air, falling from the skies and flopping on the ground. All of them were filled with fear, just the pressure alone made them crumble. Beast God Armament First Form, Beast God Descends. The black-armored Luo Feng stood on the Luo Fuqi board and gazed down at the time-space nightmare. Howl, the beast below howled and rushed into the sky, simultaneously using both malevolent eyes to shoot out beams of light. The powerful law domain was affected by the time-space control, and its power rose greatly, immediately rushing towards the seemingly small and weak black-armored sector lord. Humph! Luo Feng gazed below. Rumble! The surrounding space warped and a huge grassland appeared. The powerful world projection immediately clashed with the law domain. Rumble! The 2 clashed and the law domain was pushed back, finally closing in until it was only 100 kilometers around the beast itself. This made the beast give off a look of disbelief. How could his law domain be pushed back by world projection? Beast God descends with sky-tearing claw. Luo Feng thought. The powerful beast god projection let out a howl as it tore through space. This howl seemed to come from an ancient time itself, and as it flew, it rushed downwards and got incredibly close to the beast, after which it unleashed its malevolent claw. Tear! This blurry claw instantly tore through one of the beast's heads that was biting at him, tearing through the thin layer of armor. Red and blue spewed in all directions as its head was torn apart. The claw didn't seem to weaken at all as it followed through and slashed straight through the beast's torso. Howl! The beast's other head let out an enraged howl as countless fragments of its body became undying energy and began to reform. Tear! The terrifying claw of the beast god along with countless gold leaves swiftly spread through tens of thousands of kilometers in area, wrapping around the heavily injured and fleeing time-space nightmare. Countless gold leaves madly wrapped around it, and in the blink of an eye, nothing was left of the beast at all, it had fallen. Dying under my strongest beast god presence and technique, you should be honored. The black-armored Luo Feng waved his hand and the undying star-eating plant swiftly shrank and entered his shoulder. Back then Shi Luo Duo had left 4 great manuals behind. Beast God Armament, Beast God Howl, Beast God Transformation, and Beast God Run. Of which Luo Feng most frequently used the Beast God Armament. The Beast God Armament had 6 levels, matching the 7 forms of the Nan Shan 7 forms 6 levels. Luo Feng had finished the first scaled form. After studying more, he also learnt the Beast God Descends. One had to know that when Luo Feng spent 900 years in Primal Chaos City, his Beast God presence was already at the level of passing the 16th level of the Heavenly Bridge. As he focused even more on it for another 300 years, it allowed him to reach the point of the 17th level. And the Beast God Armament was a frequently used weapon by the knights. A good spirit weapon had very strong amplification effects. With the Beast God Armament, his power naturally soared. It became extremely easy for him to unleash the sky-tearing claw, almost as proficient as when the golden horned beast used it. Its power was close to an emperor level undying. Close to emperor level. Spirit energy amplitude was over 3,200. Sector Lord Pinnacle Spirit energy. This made it so that when Luo Feng unleashed this move, it would have power akin to an official level Undying. After including his world projection, he could easily suppress the space-time nightmare's strong law domain. The moment he hit the body, victory was a given. Flee! Flee! The thousands of demons howled and shouted in all languages, dispersing in all directions. The human sector lords, domain lords and universe levels that were originally losing worked together and swiftly killed as many as they could. The two human Undyings naturally didn't lower themselves to go chase them, smiling as they walked towards Luo Feng. Thank you, brother. The copper-armored Undying walked over. Thanks for the help. The weak-looking Undying carefully examined Luo Feng, saying, he is boy and I'm Shu Fan, we are both generals. We believe that you are a majesty from one of the 5 Leviathans. The black-armored Luo Feng with helmet and boots descended, the beast god armament in his hand and the Luo Fu Chi board beneath his feet entered his internal world. The black-armored moved and his helmet vanished, revealing a short-haired youth. Second brother, third brother. On the other side, Nuo Lan Shan gathered excitedly with the 2 other sector Lord Pinnacle warriors. We don't have to separate anymore, it's safe. Ha ha, 5th brother, we should thank that powerful warrior then. That warrior sure is powerful, he should be sector lord level, yet he easily killed that demon race Undying. And the gold leaves should be an Undying plant. Nuo Lan Shan nodded as he heard, thinking within, a sector lord easily killing a demon Undying, that's powerful. That's a true absolute genius, who knows what his background is. If I can get close to him, then Luo Feng wouldn't be a threat anymore. Nuo Lan Shan's fear of Luo Feng drove him to the outer region wars. Look, that warrior is revealing his face. He, looks like he's no ordinary person. The second and third brothers' eyes gleamed. Many sector lords, domain lords and universe levels all looked over. Nuo Lan Shan turned too. The usual high and mighty 2 Undyings seemed humble as they welcomed the black-armored man and chatted with him. The warrior revealed his face, even though he had changed his appearance slightly, as this person was the reason behind his coming to the outer region wars for 4,000 over years. How could the hate-filled Nuo Lan Shan not recognize this face? Nuo Lan Shan looked at the distant black-armored man, his eyes staring wide, almost like they were about to pop out. Luo Feng, it's really Luo Feng. Nuo Lan Shan's brain was just crumbling from this. He knew that over 4,000 years ago, that if he stayed in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, with Luo Feng's improvement speed, the distance between him and Luo Feng would only get closer within the human territories. After all, he did get the huge axe award for universe level, he had madness in his bones, hence he gritted his teeth and headed into the outer region wars to gamble. Along the way, he had 2 very dangerous situations. In the outer region wars, he risked his life over and over, he quickly broke through to domain lord level when he arrived. However, a domain lord level 1 here was just cannon fodder, he continued to struggle. Overcoming situations over and over until he finally reached sector lord level. How many years has it been and what did he fight for? Because he was afraid of Luo Feng, hence he kept improving himself. However now, Luo Feng actually appeared before him, and he had the strength to kill a pinnacle Undying general. How did he get so strong? Why is he so strong? Didn't he just join the genius competition over 4,000 years ago, and he was only star level 9 then? It's only been 4,000 years, and now he's a sector lord pinnacle. Even a sector lord pinnacle shouldn't be able to kill a pinnacle Undying general. It's over. It's over. His mind was in a mess, he felt helpless. The 2 Undyings of this army Shu Fan and Boy had introduced themselves. Luo Feng smiled and nodded, I'm called Yang. Yang? The 2 remembered this name. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng naturally had formed many connections with others, those closer to him like Tai Wo, Demon Lady and comrades in life or death, he would ask them to call him Madman. The main thing was to remain anonymous. Actually, the name Madman was one he used even back on Earth. This nickname was commonly seen. Out of 10 soldiers, There would probably be one with that name. Luo Feng wasn't afraid of revealing his identity through it. As for Xu Fan and Boy etc., they were bound to be just passing acquaintances, just a quick name for them to call. He had grown up in one of the 8 great cities back in Jiangnan base Yangzhou City, hence he chose the name Yang. Yang, the commotion from the battle earlier was huge. There will be many other powerful warriors rushing over, we had better leave quickly. Xu Fan said. Come with us. Boy said. Luo Feng nodded, all right. The 2 Undyings immediately laughed. What a joke. To be able to kill a pinnacle general Undying at sector lord level, it showed that his law comprehension level was at least an official level pinnacle. For such a being, when he became Undying, he would almost definitely become an emperor. Keeping close to such a being was such an honor. Gather. Boy ordered and waved his hand. A huge silver disc ship with about 300 m in diameter appeared. Hua. The middle portion opened, revealing a huge pathway. Gather. Gather, the other sector Lord Pinnacle warriors ordered. Hurry onto the ship and we'll leave immediately. Yes. The incredibly excited universe levels, domain lords, sector lord soldiers flew from all directions, all flying into the ship. The pathway allowed up to 1,000 at a time. Fifth brother, what are you thinking about? The furry-faced tall and sturdy sector lord dragged Nuo Lan Shan. Hurry into the ship. Ah. Nuo Lan Shan awoke. He couldn't help but look into the distance. There stood Luo Feng, who glanced over, and the 2 of them made eye contact, causing Nuo Lan Shan to feel as though the beast god pressure had landed on him again. He shuddered. Coming. Nuo Lan Shan followed the others into the ship. This 300-meter diameter disc-shaped ship's middle portion had a diameter of 200 m, and there were 3 cabins within. These 3 rooms all had a diameter of 200 meter each, and easily housed close to 20,000 soldiers. Of which Nuo Lan Shan was within the middle cabin. He sat in the corner and held his head. Calm down, I have to stay calm. He howled within, as he couldn't hold it in. Luo Feng's appearance today had caused all hopes he had for the past 4,000 years to instantly crumble. He struggled between life and death for over 4,000 years because of that fear. This was specifically for the chance to take revenge on Luo Feng. Breathe. Nuo Lan Shan took deep breaths, perspiration beading from his forehead as he gradually calmed down. Over 4,000 years, he actually reached such a level, and his strength is so terrifying. He's definitely heavily respected within the virtual universe company. Nuo Lan Shan thought. With his position, he naturally didn't know much about Luo Feng's position in the company. Then, my chances of revenge are 0. He thought, using the other races to take revenge is also not possible. First, the moment they see a human they will kill me immediately. Secondly, they won't even believe me. Third, if I work with the other races, I'll be killed immediately. Fourth, even if they know there's a genius here, there are many human geniuses. Why would they want to kill Luo Feng? Lastly, if I leave the army, Luo Feng will take the chance to kill me. I'd have no chance to report at all. In all, using the other races to take revenge had a success rate of under 0.000000001%. This was close to 0, and the cost would be his own life. I don't want to sacrifice my life. Then I'll have to think of a way to survive. Nuo Lan Shan pondered. Suddenly his eyes gleamed. Right, the army has its rules in the outer region wars. Allies cannot kill each other. Anybody who does so will be deemed a traitor and will be executed. That means as long as I stay within the army, with countless people around me, Luo Feng cannot kill me. And if I leave the army and go on my own, he'll probably have his methods to get an automaton puppet etc. to easily kill me. And if a puppet kills me, even if the system sees it, it cannot determine it's him. Right? This is what I will do then. Nuo Lan Shan nodded, making up his mind within. He would stay with this army under the 2 Undyings. At least if Luo Feng did do anything to kill him here, the army would be able to determine his guilt easily and he would be executed. I don't believe he would sacrifice his life to kill me. Nuo Lan Shan smiled. Fifth brother, that mysterious sector Lord Warrior before sure was powerful. He must have a huge background to have an undying plant and such strength. Right, he sure was powerful. Nuo Lan Shan smiled and nodded. Within the ship's control room, Boy and Shu Fan, the two undying generals, were using a banquet to welcome Luo Feng. Yang, if it weren't for you this time, we two brothers may have fallen. This debt, we will always remember. Come, try, this is the Yihua wine exchanged from the camp. Even though it's not very expensive, it has a unique flavor. Shu Fan lifted his glass. Luo Feng did so too and took a sip. The wine dripped down his throat and became a shimmering light, making his entire body comfortable. Not bad. Luo Feng nodded. To meet you in such a time of crises, we are blessed. Boy laughed loudly. Since we are all allies, I naturally should help if I can. Luo Feng said. As for helping, one of the reasons was because they were human allies, and most importantly, his target was Nuo Lan Shan. Luo Feng hated him to the bone. Right now, he had entered this team, then dealing with Nuo Lan Shan would be much easier, as every action of Nuo Lan Shan could be easily monitored by him. He was terrified earlier, now he seems to have calmed down. Looks like he realized that I cannot do anything to him in the army. Right, within the team, I am unable to make my move. Attacking allies is a serious offense. However, you will still die. Luo Feng naturally joined the team, with a guarantee of being able to kill Nuo Lan Shan without any consequences. If you leave the army and go alone, I'll have ways to kill you. If you stay within the army, the moment the army clashes with other races, amidst the chaos, I'll naturally find a way to kill you. Luo Feng was incredibly relaxed. Whether Nuo Lan Shan stayed in the army or left in fear, he would still die. Nuo Lan Shan still thought that the army would be safe, because, he didn't know, a warrior as powerful as Luo Feng would be able to find ways to kill him no matter what. Shu Fan, boy. Luo Feng smiled, I want to ask. Speak. The two undyings spoke simultaneously. Luo Feng smiled, I just came to Yangji continent, and this continent here should be one of the larger fragments, right? The space map says this is continent number 9. Shu Fan smiled, actually there are many other races here on this continent. Over the countless years, they've already had their own names for these fragments. This one fragment is called Island. Island. Luo Feng was shocked. A continent larger than the sun by many times was called an island. Right, other than the main continent, the other fragments are normally called islands. The one we are over right now is Fog Island. Shu Fan smiled. The main continent has many powerful warriors, many official-level undyings, even emperor-level undyings. Hence it's extremely dangerous. Those that know they are not strong enough, mostly stay on these islands. This Fog Island is a larger island with many other races, however the undyings here are mostly at general level. There are about 12 official-level undyings here, maybe a little more. In all, we've confirmed 12 of them and these 12 are considered the top power on Fog Island. Part 2 end here.